What's up YouTube, Dad here for zephyr wargames, bringing you an updated Darklord deck profile ready and going for link format. So, Darklord is one of the very few decks that can absolutely cruise into the changes of link, along with many other decks you can pick up right now, which I would highly advise, because if someone does do really well with one of these decks, the prices will skyrocket. Without further ado, I'm going to crack straight into this and show you what we've got. So, we play triple Darklord YUGIOH, very standard, very straightforward. Follow that up with triple Darklord Superbia, and obviously the combo pieces are there. Triple Darklord Nastem, double Darklord Zorato, double Darklord Ukobuk, double Vanity's Fiend, and then we play two Kaijus, one Gameciel, one Gardler. Now, purely because number one, I couldn't find my second Gameciel. You can easily play a second Gameciel if you want. But when I was actually looking at Gardler, there's very few of our Darklord monsters that you actually worry about beating over 2700, so it's not the end of the world. And the best one to do it is, I mean, you can give the Gameciel, especially someone at your Gardler, tribute off the Gardler and go into Vanities. The other idea as well is they're both targets for trading, so that helps consistency. If they're dead in hand, you can move them along. Whereas Raiden, you can play Raiden because he's a target for a Law of Darkness, but that's really down to you and how you want to play the Kaijus. I recommend at least two. If you're going to play more than that, that's absolutely fine. Just, you want to minimise brickage in the deck, but you also want to make sure that they're always targets for your draw cards. And then we finish it off with one Darklord Undusk, because it is quite good. At one is just enough what you need with this card. So that's very straightforward on the Darklord monster lineup right there. Now we move on to the spells. Triple Darklord Contact. Now obviously this is your monster reborn of the deck, and you want to be playing 3 of it, no questions asked. Triple Banishment, again, you want to be playing 3 of it. This is your search card. The artwork is absolutely outstanding, as well as the whole Darklord art type. Triple Trade-ins, again, you have so many targets. You've got your double Zorato, you have your triple Superbia, which obviously you want engrave through trade-in, and then you have on top of that your double Kaijus. So you have a total of 7 targets for your 3 trade-ins. You can bump up the targets if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it because you don't want to over push the targets in the deck, because you want to minimise the brickage as it already is. Triple Allure of Darkness. Now again, if you turn your Kaijus into Raidens, your whole monster lineup will be Allure targets. So Allure would never ever be dead. The only issue is you're banishing what you get, so you don't really want to be relying too much on it. Double Pot of Desires, just the right amount in this kind of deck, in my build. You can play F3, that's absolutely fine. So, you know, down to personal preference there. Double Twin Twister, deal with those back rows, unclog your hands. I mean, you might sometimes go second, open up with a card, and you're like, I really need, if like, for example, if you open up with Darklord Return, Twin Twister, and like Ix-Chill, you can go Twin Twister, pitch Ix-Chill, pop 2, activate Return, bring back Ix-Chill, and then you can kind of push your plays from there. Now, obviously, it doesn't have to be Ix-Chill, but that's just the example we've gone with. 1 Dark Hole, 1 Raigeki, and 1 Soul Charge, which is going to be massively important in link format, just to flood your board with tokens, or, well, not tokens per se, but cards that you can then use for fodder. And the best thing about Darklords is you can Soul Charge, like Terranites back in the day, you can Soul Charge for less than you actually need. So you can Soul Charge into an Ix-Chill, only paying 1,000, then pay 1,000 from Ix-Chill to shuffle back Contact or Banishment, and then you can continue on your plays, which might help you extend and save you that very important 1,000 life points from Soul Charge. Now, I know it seems counterproductive, but being able to shuffle back maybe Contact to bring out another Darklord card, or sending back Banishment to then be able to play off cards for trading, allures, or even helps push you for maybe if you've got another Ix-Chill, is invaluable in the game. And then we play a really tiny lineup of traps, and it is just purely double Darklord Rebellion and a single Darklord Enchantment. Purely because Enchantment doesn't target, that's what I like best about it. And neither does Return, which is very good. You can play 3 returns if you want, but I quite like the Enchantment because there's the ability to steal an opponent's monster, bounce it back, steal another one of their monsters, and you're sitting on 2 of their monsters that you can then use for fodder later on. Now, what I do need to mention about Darklords is where the traps and spells both say you can only activate one Darklord Rebellion per turn. When you shuffle it back with a Darklord effect, you're actually not activating the card, you're activating the effect. So number one, you don't have to pay the cost of send one Darklord monster, you replace that by paying 1,000 life points. And number two, even if you've already activated that turn, because you're not activating the card itself, you're only activating the effect, it's allowed to go through. Now on to the extra deck. Now obviously Darklords can run without an extra deck, they can be very, very strong, but then there are some times where the extra deck will help push you for those games, and it's very, very unlikely that you'll end up with 2 XYZs on board with Darklord plays, but if you do, they have the ability to push you into a link monster should you need it. Starting off with Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosat, purely because it gives you 2 tokens, it helps push you into another link monster should you need it. And then you've got your Red Eyes Flare for burning games off, number 11 Big Eye, just because if you want to steal more of those monsters. Owlsy to help loop your opponent, so if it's late game, you go into an Owlsy and you loop their top card. As long as they're not shuffling, they're going to be going straight. If they set a card face down, they're like, right, I need it destroyed, you just go Owlsy, shuffle back, attack in, they're going to top deck that dead card again, they're going to have to set it again, you can Owlsy it again, and you know, it's a vicious cycle. Number 22, Zombie Stein. Number 38, Hope Harbinger. And then you play the Galaxy Engine, which was Cypher Dragon, Full Armor, and number 95. Then we play one number 23, Lancelot, purely because it can negate, which is quite helpful, but because it's not your choice to do so, it can hinder. But if your opponent has an insanely strong board walled up, you can go into Lancelot, attack directly for that 2k, and hopefully that might win you the game. Then you have your number 81, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon. Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max, because again, burn for 2k can always help you out. And then you play the Tarantulas or the Spiders, purely because your life points are always going to be different from your opponent. You're always going to be burning with your Darklord cards, so there'll always be a difference in change. So you go into Ravenous Tarantula, and then you can start going up to Pain Gainer and the 7 Sins. So it gives you them plays that you're going to really need. So that is it for the Darklord deck profile. Very straightforward, very, very simple. The money card in the deck is obviously Darklord Ixchil. They're going at about £15 a pop from what I last saw. The other cards aren't worth huge amounts of money. I mean, Vanity's Fiends are about £9 in a common, depending on what you want. Desires are getting reprinted in September in the tins, so they shouldn't be too much. And if you don't want to invest too much in them, wait for a little bit. Allures and Trade-ins are 10 a penny. Soul Charges are very, very cheap. Regekis and Dark Hole, you can dump that out for another Dark Hole. Twin Twisters are about £4 in a common, give or take. So you might be able to pick them up quite cheaply. And then obviously your Darklord spells and traps aren't actually worth a huge amount. So, thanks for watching. I will do a test down video for this so you can see the consistency of the deck and to see how you play the deck. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. And until next time, guys, as always, Happy Dueling. If you like that video, why not check out our other videos available? We've got more deck profiles, pack openings, and of course duels. And don't forget to click on the most important button of all, that subscribe button, right in the bottom left hand corner.